Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing? It's Friday. Hallelujah. I hope you're having a good day and the Lord's been good to you. Just know that He loves you. But, anyways, I'm going to do another kind of lure video. And a couple people reached out and said, hey, really like that, but could you do another one? And I'm like, oh, okay. But, anyways, today I want to talk to you a little about top water versus shallow or mid-depth crankbaits. So as you get into fishing, you get away from like the worm, the live worms, the crickets, the minnows, the catfish bait, and all that into actual fishing lures. You have a wide range of lures here, from topwater to mid-level to crappie to bass to trout. So obviously this little one right here imitates a baby rainbow trout minnow, and this typically is fished. I usually fish it anywhere from 1 to 3 feet, and I can manipulate the lure to do more than what it's needed. But with this lip here, there on the front of the lure, it really sinks, and so when you're fishing it, if you quit reeling, it'll go whoop, it'll go right to the top of the water, and then you can tug it, and it's going to move it like this, or it's going to waddle down through the water column there. But typically I use that in streams, and I can catch, like I mentioned before in a previous video, we don't have very much smallies or smallmouth bass around here, but we do. They're hard to catch, but I can catch them, and I usually use this lure here. Unless I'm trout fishing, and this is the go-to lure for me on 2-pound test, and that's the key. The smaller lure, the smaller the line test, because you won't get the action on it. But anyways, I love that lure right there. And then you move over to this funky looking thing. This is what we call a minnow. It's a diving minnow. It's usually 1 to 3 feet again, but it either suspends or it sinks, but it just wiggles back and forth. And with these two countered treble hooks here, I think they're number 6, I believe. They catch usually in the back end of the fish, or fish come up and they strike on the bottom here, and they cap it right there. But this is typically a shad pattern they use for upstream. You want to throw it in moving water, so it swings with it, but also you can pop it on top of the water too, and it will suspend in the water column. A very good bait to use in the morning before you go to, say, a deeper crankbait like these down here below. For example, this one here, it's, I love this lure. Again, it's my Walmart special. It's like $1.97, I think, at Walmart right now. But I have like 4 or 5 of these bad boys here. Oops, sorry, right there, and they imitate a brown. Looks like a crawfish here, but this thing here does the same thing. It'll suspend in the water column. Move my hand over, and it will typically go deeper than 1 to 3 feet. I think this one goes like 4 to 6 feet. But look at that bill. Well, you see the bill and how the crankbait is offset. See how far back the eye is and the length of the body. So it's doing this as it's going down the water column. But more you reel, the deeper it will go down. But again, this represents like a baby crawl, and it's very effective. But I would tend to use it in an open space. You can use it in ponds, whatnot, but just be mindful of those hooks there. Since they've got barbs on them, they're going to snag. But I try to fish these off points, off little, structures in the water, get it right up close to it and reel it in. Twitch my rod, keep my rod up where I can pop it up and down, just kind of like this motion with that, and you'll be surprised what you catch with it. I've caught crappie on this thing. I've caught, or sacklers as you call them down south, and I've caught bass, rock bass, even white bass. I've hit this on the river, so it's very interesting. It's, like I said, it's cheap too. You don't spend $8 or $9 for a Strike King lure or a Rapella. And then you can go to Walmart and get these, or any other cheap store. They sell them in your local area. So, and then lastly is this bad boy. Man, this right here, again, as you can see, I shop for the best buck for my bang here. So this one here mimics a perch, but you notice it doesn't have that lip up front, and it literally suspends off the eye hole there. So you want to tie a unison knot on there, meaning you'll tie overhead knot first, offsetting this right here with your line, then you'll tie your line on. But you see these big old hooks on it. I mean, this is meant to get the big boys, not the little crappie or perch. You're actually going for bass here, and this lure I use quite often if I'm in open water or I'm off like in a new lake. I'm just testing a new lake. Like, for example, I went to a new lake a couple of weeks ago, never been, and just fishing off the bank and kind of seeing what was out there, seeing the schools of fish going, and I saw a bunch of these, so I threw this out there. Yeah, I caught a little, I mean, I think it was like maybe a half a pound bass, but they hit it, so that tells me that they're interested in it, and it's very, appealing. It looks like a bullgrim or a sunfish, but it's bigger than these other baits. But this is a shallow crankbait, so, and you hear that? When it's going down the water, it will, just like this, it will waggle or wiggle, and use that kind of murky water. I find that to be the best case, is use that there, and so you can get the best hit for it. And you want to use another lure like this if you're in clear water where there's no rattle, obviously, because they're not going to hit because they're going to see it. And also in clear water, you want to use a color kind of like this one up here, the shad color, instead of this crawl color there. But this one works pretty good, like the other one I showed you the other day. It's kind of the cousin of this, and this is a lipless crankbait, and they're very effective, trust me. But you can see these are a number, I think, 4 treble hook on here, instead of like this is a number 8 on this trout one. These are number 6s here. But anyways, that's real quick. I just want to share you a couple of these lures that I use, and I encourage you to get some lures out there. Some of these retail stores sell top water baits, a lure kit for less than $10, and they offer like 5 of these type of baits and maybe a popper. Maybe I'll do a video later today about poppers that I have and frogs. But anyways, this should get you started on what you're looking for to fish for. But I know this video is kind of longer than I've been doing. But if you, like I said, if you like this content and you want to see more of it, or even have questions for me, let me know, and I can do a Q&A. But I don't think I can do that live until I get enough subscribers. But if you like this, you want to see more of this content, please let me know. Hit the like and subscribe, and share my videos, man. I appreciate it. I do love grilling. You've seen some of my videos out there, but I also like golf, and I'm going to start doing some golf videos. But anyways, fishing's my passion. It's one thing I love to do, and it's so nice out there to get involved. And you can take your family, your kids, your neighbors, and it's a good way to kind of relieve some stress. And it's obviously cheaper than doing some other things, but you got to know what you're doing first to get into it. So anyways, that's a little bit on fishing. So I hope you have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and God bless. See ya.